My colleague Colleen Wolfe from the NFL Media Group is here. So what's it like back home right now in the city of Philadelphia? What can you tell me about right now?
You know what? It's very strange, Rich. I talked to my family yesterday.
Yes.
They're all happy. Like, this is weird.
Yes.
They don't know how to act.
Right.
I don't know how to act.
Right.
It's uncharted territory. But it's kind of nice. Now, I'm a little worried because I feel like they're peaking a little too early at this point. Long season.
Yes.
Everything is going great. I'm someone who sets the bar extremely low. Like, the bar is on the ground.
Yes.
So my expectations are never high. I don't like to be disappointed. I only like to be surprised and happy by that. So this is well beyond my expectations for how the Eagles should have started the season.
Well, I think the good news here is it appears that the quarterback will not allow the bar to get any lower. I love the way Jalen Hurts talks. I love the way he carries himself. I love the way that he is leading. I feel it. And I feel like there is, of course, they're not going to go 17-0, but I just feel.
My family thinks they will.
That's how
what's
peaches
happening.
and cream it is. That's how weird it is on your phone conversation. I just think they're getting better. I just think they're getting better. Like Devontae Smith in particular, right? Week 1, non-factor. Next couple of weeks, significant. They're putting on capes on each other.
I know, the Batman cape.
Right.
Last week, watching that catch, Devontae's catch right before the actual touchdown, where he
Yes.
went up between two defenders. John and I, my husband and I, are watching the game, and at the same time, just in unison, we just screamed, "Oh my God!"
Right.
The dogs, they ran out of house. Like it's Sundays are rough for them.
Yes.
They don't understand that the yelling is actually like usually a good thing.
It's a good thing.
At this point,
It's like fireworks to
exactly.
a dog. Yeah,
They don't
right.
like them.
Right.
But it's kind of wild to watch the Eagles operate like this because they almost have 2 number 1 wide receivers at this point with A.J. Brown. And that, I mean, Howie Roseman just had such a good offseason. And you talk about, trading away Jalen Reagor and kind of getting rid of the things that everyone just crushed Howie for and bringing in A.J. Brown. Now you have both of these guys operating at such a high level, just helping Jalen Hurts in the passing game. I can't even remember the last time that the Eagles had a true dominant number 1 wide receiver like this. I guess T.O. would be it. But there's not a time that I can remember that the team had a number 1 wide receiver like this and then also a killer cornerback like Slay. Like, they have the pieces that, could make this team pretty good in the long run.
Well,
This is what's happening. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
She just went higher register. I mean, that's here. If you go higher register, you need to really go higher register to really believe what you're saying. But
Right.
no, I do believe what you're saying, and also I'm reminded of yesterday when we had Slay on the program. And you just referred to him as such. I called him Darius the first couple of times.
Yeah.
And his answer, because I'm like, so you're laughing already over there, TJ.
It was so funny though, because like
guys
Rich
didn't
and I
get
were
it.
so confused because Rich would be like Darius, so it's Slay, and he did it 3 times, and we're just like, what?
Well, I thought he was, because I was like, so Darius, so the way that you're playing against Justin Jefferson, going into the game, what it was like, making sure you shut him down up to the challenge. And he goes, it's Slay.
It's Slay.
And then continue on with his answer. And then I'd be like, so what is your opinion about traveling with a receiver? And he goes, it's Slay. And then would answer. And I thought he was using the word slay as a
He's
metaphor.
slaying.
Like a vibe,
Right.
his vibe
Yeah.
is it's
So
Slay.
I'm like, all right, I'll bite. Like,
Yeah.
what is your definition of slay? And he goes, no, I'm telling you, call me Slay.
it was great.
It was the coming to America thing.
It
Mama
was
named
awesome.
Slay. I'm gonna call him Slay.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a total head slap
It
moment.
was very funny.
You
He
know.
just needs one name. I mean, that's his thing. And like Slay all day. I mean, he's a Beyonce fan. Like, this
I didn't
is
know that either.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least he was back in the day, but that doesn't change. Like, you're once a Beyonce fan, always a Beyonce fan.
They don't
One
let you
would
out the
assume.
beehive.
One would assume.
Yeah.
And he's a Harden fan. He said he's giving footballs to Harden, after they score.
I know.
mean,
And Harden looks fit. So,
Yes.
I mean, everything's coming up at Philly.
There it is again, a very higher register
Very
thing right there.
No, I got to work on that.
There it is. Colleen Wolfe here on the Rich Eisen Show. So, who was your preseason pick for the Super Bowl? Who did you get? What did you put down on
totally
paper?
picked the Eagles. No, I was Bills, and I was going to say I never really went on record with it.
Oh, you didn't? So you could say whatever the hell you want right now.
I could kind of change this around, but I definitely thought the Bills were going to win. And so I was thinking Bills, Rams, Bills, Niners was one that I was toying with. But now at this point, I'm not going to go there at all.
Because of the Niners, huh? You won't do it?
The Niners, well.
I don't know. I'm not ready to jump off them just yet.
Really?
Yeah, really. I'm not ready to jump off them just yet. I think that, you know what, Kittle's back now, right? The defense looks amazing.
They're great.
Right.
They were just swarming.
Trent Williams' injury concerns me, but eventually it's just a high ankle sprain. Eventually one assumes he will come back, and then the second half of the season is when they start putting it together and it become the proverbial team you don't want to face. And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for them this year.
I was talking the other day, actually, on NFL Network about Jimmy Garoppolo and the fact that, like, maybe some of the things we're seeing in his games, just because he didn't have a preseason, he's just started practicing with the team at this point. Right. But, you know, when you lose track of where you are on the field, that's tough. Like, when you pull an Orlovsky, that's a bad look.
Right. It certainly is. Well, unless you throw a pick six with that throw and you've saved your team 4 points by stepping out of bounds.
That's true.
Just trying to
glass half full.
Take a look at the silver lining. You know, I just want to see more football before I discard the 49ers right now. I'm not ready to do that just yet, to say that this is not going to be their year. I just I can't quit them. Who was your choice to win the AFC West? Because mine was the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah.
You know, I was really high on the Chargers. They do this to me every year. I should learn by now that the Chargers, they're going to end up breaking my heart. And it's a good team. They had so many injuries last week. Obviously, Justin Herbert getting hurt in that Thursday night game against the Chiefs with the ribs. Who knows how bad that was when he was playing. But the fact that, like, they didn't have Keenan Allen out there, Corey Linsley, their center. They lost so many guys during that game, too. So it's just like the same thing that happens with the Chargers is they just keep getting got at the wrong time with injuries and bad luck. But the Chiefs were my pick. I just kind of went with the old faithful there because Andy Reid, I have a bias with him after he was in Philly for so long.
Yeah.
I think he's really good at adapting, but I do think that losing Tyreek Hill is affecting that offense, and we're kind of seeing some issues. The special teams is what got them this week, though.
Let's go back to the Philly thing for a second here at Colleen Wolfe for NFL Network.
You want to talk about Philly?
No, it's a big game there this week. What do you think Doug Pederson's welcome will be in Lincoln Financial?
I love this question because I'm not sure. I want to believe that people are going to love on him when he gets there. I think the ovation will be warm. Doug Pederson brought the city a Super Bowl. He's, I think, beloved still. Him and Nick Foles can kind of do no wrong. There's a statue of them in the city.
Right.
But then again, you never know what's going to happen at the Link on game day. So there could be some boo birds out. But for the most part, if it was me, hey, I'd give him a standing ovation.
Of course.
And he's coaching the Jags. Sorry.
Okay.
The Jags look better. The Jags look better. And hey, they could actually be a sneaky playoff team.
Hey, that's 2 seed in the AFC right now, Jacksonville. Show some respect.
Yes. Quarterbacked by the current AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Trevor Lawrence, as he was named this very morning. You know what? I wouldn't, like, what would be the grudge against Pederson, right? I mean, what?
There isn't one.
Here are the situations that would maybe cause the grudge to have occurred. Number one would be if Carson Wentz went elsewhere and actually turned into the Carson Wentz that Wentz was before he dove headfirst into the end zone here in the Los Angeles Coliseum and his knee blew up. That did lead, by the way, to Nick Foles and the statue.
Yeah.
The next year, I mean, had the football not gone through the hands of Alshon Jeffrey in the Superdome, it looked like the Eagles were on the road to doing it again, by the way. And then I don't think anybody holds the weird game 256 moment where Nate Sudfeld came out of the mist to bench Hurts, who had already benched Wentz. I don't think they hold that against Doug Pederson, right? I mean, he didn't slag on the team or the city going out the door either.
No, not at all. I think that he's respected and he's loved. The only way that I think the city would turn on him is if he went and was coaching for the Cowboys or like a division rival. Like, but other than that, no. I think that they're gonna it's going to be a nice welcome for him. I would assume. I expect that, but who knows?
You know what I expect too, though, is a game. I expect the Jacksonville defense to chase Jalen Hurts around. I expect that to be a game. I expect that to be a competitive football game.
The Jags
on Sunday
are just such an interesting team because you knew coming into the season that there would be a definite jump just not having Urban Meyer there and having Doug Pederson. This was a team that went wild in free agency. They spent so much money, and it's actually paying off. They look so much better, so much more cohesive. Trevor Lawrence looks great. I mean, as you just said, player of the week. I mean, this is a team that so many people dunk on, me included.
You just did.
I know,
literally
exactly.
about 90 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's easy. But now all of a sudden, they're coming together. And like I had said just a second ago, I think that they could be a sneaky playoff team. This is a team that could go from a worst to first scenario.
Right. That's what you said, Chris, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're aligned.
They're winning the division.
Well, I mean, that's not that difficult at this point, just looking at the way.
I think it is.
There's still big time plus money to win the division. Like, you can still get really good odds on them.
We have 2 NFL Network people here. Don't talk to us that way.
I don't know anything about gambling.
14 partners.
Don't talk to us that way. Don't talk to us that way.
Yeah.
You understand.
We won't accept it.
You understand the situation that we're in. Why would you put her in that position?
How dare you?
What are you talking about?
I'm just telling
I don't know
you.
what you're talking about.
I'm just telling
what
you
are you
what's
talking
happening.
about?
What are these words that you're using?
Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth?
See, 2 NFL Network people turned it into the unfrozen caveman lawyers.
I'm
on
saying
the
if
spot.
you have one,
Your
piece
terms
of
confuse me.
gum, and you're like, hey, I think Jacksonville is going to win the AFC South, and they end up doing that, you'd have like 2.5 more pieces of gum.
What type of gum? Just any gum?
Like Big Red or something.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Juicy fruit?
Now you're talking.
It's going to move you.
It loses its flavor kind of fast.
Juicy fruit does lose flavor kind of fast. That's a fact.
Didn't we have Sean Payton give
He
us
has
gum?
an autographed Juicy fruit around here somewhere.
Okay, somewhere. Yeah, we just don't know. Great job.
Wow.
Pick the Jaguars, people, to win the AFC
See,
South.
I thought it was going to be the Colts. And like the Colts.
It may still be. What a W that was.
They're still the
Yeah.
favorite.
Well, while we're on the subject of blowing our careers, how many Survivor pools went up in smoke this weekend? I mean,
Bummer.
yours did?
Yeah, over.
See ya.
Done.
Would not want to be ya.
Andy Reid.
Done.
On the list.
This season has been already insane. Colleen Wolfe here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football before
Yes.
we send you on the rest of your Wednesday here. NFL Game Day kickoff with you at 6 Eastern Time this coming Thursday night. Tua swears it's his back. Okay, and we'll take him at his word. And apparently that's what's keeping him a little bit dicey for this game. Teddy Bridgewater potentially. I think we're going to see Tua walk through that door. There's no way he's going to miss him versus Burrow, right?
No.
I mean, this is going to be dynamite.
I'm hoping that's the case, and just going forward, assuming that it is.
Let's do that.
The back.
Yes.
I mean, I will say, as someone who has had back injuries before, I was a figure skater. I have a couple slip discs in my back. Like, when the back goes and you step on it wrong, you actually do crumble like that.
Okay.
Like the way that we saw Tua kind of like stagger. I've literally done that in my kitchen before. So I could see that being a possibility. But I am really hoping to see him on Thursday because he has just taken such a step forward, and being able to see him kind of thrive with Mike McDaniel and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, just that offense, the way that they're winning games, they're doing it so many different ways.
Yes.
And I'm a little worried about the defense, to be honest, this week on a short week after what they experienced against the Bills.
100-degree weather and all that stuff.
90% humidity. Guys were just like collapsing on the field.
Yes.
Like it looked like at the end of that game, when Josh Allen and Tua met, like it was like the end of a battle scene.
Yeah, he put his head on Tua's shoulder. You know, it was, I thought, you know what I honestly thought, and obviously it's different stakes, was Kellen Winslow Sr. being carried off of the Orange Bowl field, you know, after that classic playoff game where he was gassed, he was done.
It had
and
those
I thought
vibes.
about that. I saw that too. And it's just a big game from my perspective for Tua. You know, who we on the show have been saying that salty Tua. I want to see salty Tua. I want him to be salty. I want him to have that beard going and just be, nasty.
Yeah.
You know, and be that guy, be the guy, the assassin that doesn't seem to be in his, outward persona, right?
Like he's almost too sweet.
Exactly. Like I want to see him salty Tua.
Angry,
and
mean.
I think salty Tua, if we could channel salty Tua right now and connect him to sodium pentothal and a microphone on the Rich Eisen Show, he would basically say, I have heard nonstop about Herbert going after me and Burrow going before me. I've heard nonstop. I've even heard about Tom Brady being tampered with. I've heard about the fact that Miami kept calling Cincinnati to move up to take Burrow. And I know my team was knocking on Deshaun Watson's door during the trade deadline last year and all of that. And he's now 3-0, and he can go into Burrow's house on Thursday night and say, okay, we're 4-0, short week. Yeah, we're gassed, but we beat the Bills and last year's AFC champs in 5 days. That's big, man.
I mean, look, what other motivation do you need at that point? He just has it all built in for all of that to happen, what you just outlined, and for it to play out so publicly. Like, I would be salty all the time. I would just be so angry. Like,
Right.
I would be playing like an insane person. And he just is still so chill. He's kept his composure about him. You can just tell he's genuinely a good, nice person. And it's like, I want to see him angry. I want to see him pissed off. Like, I want to see that side of him. And I feel like we've started to see it. And I think that Mike McDaniel has done a really good job of empowering.
Stoking it maybe
Yes,
too, right?
exactly. And that's what he's needed. It just feels like a perfect marriage.
And then, and then Hurts too, being the other remaining undefeated quarterback, and the two of them having a history together. It really is, can't make that stuff
Isn't
up.
it beautiful?
It is.
I love it.
Me too. That's why I love doing what we do, with NFL Network. It's amazing. Colleen Wolfe, again, check her out. NFL Game Day kickoff at 6 Eastern time. And then Sunday, right ahead of the Vikings and Saints from London at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Before I let you go, you mentioned your figure skating career.
Yeah.
Did it come to an end because someone hit you on the knee with a stick?
No.
Okay.
I hit myself basically with the ice when
Are you
I
serious?
fell, and I slipped a couple discs. So
How good were you?
I was competing. I was waking up at like 4 a.m., skating before school, after school, like
Really?
doing
So
the whole thing.
Did you have, the
I had coaches, choreographers.
Olympic
It was
dreams
like-
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you were serious about
Oh, I
this?
was in it. I actually just contacted a coach, and I'm starting lessons again just like for the fun of it because I haven't skated in a while. So probably not going to do too many jumps, but I can still spin.
Okay, so you can. I was about to say. So, how many axles? How many axles did?
Well, so an axle is 1.5.
Right.
So I could do a double, but I was like working on a lot of different things. Like the funny thing is, I went skating probably like a year ago, and I can still spin exactly the same way. But when you're skating all of the time, your body gets used to it, and so you don't get dizzy from the spins. But since I don't skate all of the time,
Right.
I will just spin and be so dizzy that I will just fall over after.
In your kitchen.
In my kitchen. So
Dangerous
that's
place
the theme.
for that. Right now, are you guys feverishly trying to call up the video of me skating years ago?
Oh,
Is that what you're trying to do?
Are we gonna go skating, Rich?
Definitely not.
Oh, he's really, really not good.
I was searching for Colleen figure skating.
That's what I was
videos.
looking for, too.
I forgot
Also-
about
Do
you.
they exist?
I don't think so. They're all on VHS.
So about to say it's got to be back in some basement in Philadelphia, right?
Sure
Somewhere?
is.
So
Thank
top
God.
5 movies, The Cutting Edge.
Oh, love The Cutting Edge.
Toe pick.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you want to talk about figure skating? I'm your girl.
What's the best figure skating movie then?
Well, I mean, The Cutting Edge, probably.
That's it. Number one.
Yeah. I mean, there's not like a
There's
ton.
not a lot of figure skating movies.
I don't know.
Did you grow up with a Torval and Dean poster on your wall?
Torval and Dean has been called.
Wow.
You went
good pull.
UK on her though, right? Isn't Torval and Dean UK? Isn't it-
Were you
isn't it the
Oksana
best?
Bayul? Like, who's your?
Oh, I
who-
did love Oksana, but Michelle Kwan was my girl.
yeah.
Loved her.
Okay. I once went drinking with Oksana Bayul in Connecticut deep into the night in my sports center.
did?
Wait, what?
She could put him down.
I bet she could.
Oh yeah.
Well,
she drank everyone else under the table.
Didn't she have a situation?
I don't remember.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I just
Maybe I'm
if
not
I just
plugged in.
if I just toe looped into something I shouldn't. Is that a proper phrase?
I feel like
good.
she,
Yeah, good
I feel like
job.
she had an arrest at one point.
I don't know.
Oh, I mean-
maybe so.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Wasn't that night?
we hope.
Oh yeah. was definitely
97. It's all good. It's all good.
That's right around then.
It's all good.
I'm
Yeah.
serious. That's when it.
What happened after you left?
I don't know.
Rich.
I walked home.
Oh, she was in Connecticut.
That's right. That's what, dude. Yes, she
She's
lived
so
in Connecticut.
little. She was drinking like that.
She lived in Connecticut. It was after a sports center. We all went out. There was Oksana Bayul like pounding him back, and I'm like, what the hell is happening to my life?
Might have
love
actually
it.
been the night.
I don't.
Stop it.
I don't know. She could. It was weird. Up there in Connecticut, it was just weird. One day I'm pounding back with Oksana Bayul. Then I'm strolling to a Starbucks in West Hartford, and Manute Bowles walking across the street. Yes. Facts. He lived up there too, and it's just like, what is happening
Your
here?
new segment, strangest person you've gotten drunk with.
In Connecticut.
In Connecticut.
Very small subset of
In
people.
Connecticut.
Again, check out NFL
That's
Game Day
amazing.
kickoff Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right before Dolphins Bengals. Great. And then
Oh, yeah.
Vikings Saints from London at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for being at that post for the network.
Oh,
Stay up all
yeah,
night.
no problem. Got you covered. Nowhere I'd rather be. At 4 a.m.
Like Marv Levy, then right here, right,
Right
now.
now.